The FCT Minister Nyesom has joined the list of governors who have approved the payment of the 70,000 naira national minimum wage. Recall that Governor Fubara of Rivers State, his successor, he approved the sum of 85,000 naira against the 70,000 naira as approved by the federal government. Many other governors have not to date implemented the 70,000 naira minimum wage payment. It is quite sad that with the rate of the inflation rocking the nation's economy at the moment, state governors are still yet to implement the 70,000 naira minimum wage payment, even where it is obvious that their take-home is now large as a result of the fuel subsidy removal.
The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom, has approved a new minimum wage of 70,000 naira for workers of the FCT administration. The minister also approved the payment of 3 months arrears to the workers as part of his commitment to the welfare and well-being of FCTA workers. This comes even as the federal lawmaker representing the Amaewhule Federal Constituency in the National Assembly, Honorable Chinedu Obika of the Labour Party, has also empowered hundreds of constituents with different work tools and equipment to improve the lives of residents. Well, it's all good news for Abuja residents then. Joining us now in the studio is Honorable Chinedu Obika. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mr. Sambo.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. All right, so looks like some good news for FCT residents, from the minister down to the federal representatives at the National Assembly. And what's been your overview of the situation? Their workers are supposed to earn 70,000 naira now, though some people had anticipated 75,000. But the both committees of the National Assembly actually like the State House of Assembly for the FCT.
Yeah.
So the workers would have expected so much from you people as the leaders.
Well, you know, it's easy for people to have in mind what they want the government to pay them. But actually, those that is in the saddle of power knows what it will cost and how to get that money to pay those bills. Like the Minister of FCT have now approved 70,000. And where we are not looking at is at the local government level. The ministry can afford this, but not all the local governments have the capacity to pay this kind of money and still afford to do the needfuls in their respective areas, you know. So for me, I know that at the ministry level it is possible, but I'm also pleading with the local government workers to also engage with their chairmen of the area councils, you know, to reason with them. Let there be a timeline on when they can be able to start paying this money, because all fingers are not equal, you know. And again, my concern again with that is the area of payment of school teachers, which is also the primary responsibility of the area councils. And this money is being deducted at source. And if you go down to the area councils now, the huge amount being deducted already is already affecting them. And by the time this 70,000 comes up, I know that some of them are going to find it difficult to be able to implement. So that is the only area. But if not, I want to thank the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory for taking the bull by the horn, because it's expected. This is the only state run by the federal government. So it's expected that we should be the first to even pay that amount. But I've just told you my concerns coming to the area council level.
All right, there have been lots of hardship being faced by Nigerians, and some of you who are federal lawmakers are under intense pressure.
Yes. And
you have gone ahead to actually organize an empowerment to support the government. So while the government, the executive is doing its own part, increasing worker salary, and then we see some infrastructure being put in place, on your own part as a federal lawmaker, you've gone ahead to organize an empowerment scheme with lots of people also being empowered. Talk to us about that.
Well, Mr. Sambo, you see, that is just like a pinch of salt in an ocean. What can that employment actually do? It's just to show people that we are concerned about the present situation that families and individuals are facing right now, you know, in Nigeria. Things are extremely difficult, my brother. Even the transportation alone of people getting to their work, even those civil servants, like we just said, about 70,000. I can tell you that a man that is coming from Karo to the city center every day and goes back, you will not spend anything less than 2,000 naira. And check the number of days he has to come to work and go back. The 70,000 you're talking about, he will have to feed himself. Even if you eat breakfast in the morning and leave from your house, you have to eat lunch. The minimum you can use to eat lunch today is about 1,500. Put them together, you can see that that 70,000 will not even get anywhere. But it's a good start for now. Now, talking about the empowerment, yes, we did, because we have to. It's all about apathy, for people to know that you are concerned. And we focus that empowerment on the kind of items that can help people to start up, you know, small businesses. When
we can see some of them.
When you think of block molding machine, you know, when you think of a car wash, when you think of water pumping machine, where our rural women can use it to do irrigate their farm and things like that. So that is exactly what we have done. Even the freezer, some of them can use it to sell mineral water, things like that, you know, to help to augment. But we are talking about just about almost 600 people. Abuja is about 5 million, and the people at this category that we are talking about are in their millions. So it's like nothing done, but at least to show, you know.
All right, and people want to say that, look, sometimes when this empowerment actually comes,
yes,
we need to institutionalize them.
Yes.
Maybe working with the National Directorate of Employment, NDE, or something, so that these are institutionalized where people can be getting them directly over time, instead of this sort of outreach that you do, which is just once in a while. Are you taking steps to actually do things like that?
But those organizations are already there, and they are carrying out their own programs as well, being funded by the government as well. But you see, people like us that went around during the campaign to the people, heard them, you know, listened to them, you know precisely where to find these people that really need this help. You don't have to go through that route. And this is something that has to be done, and done very fast. So we don't have to go through all those channels. We will have to go directly to the people and make sure that that gets to them, just like what I have done. Prior to this time, we have empowered more than 261 women. We train them, and we give them startup fund to start their businesses. And before this one that we've done, more than about 600 people that benefited from what we have done, you know.
All right, I had to bring that in because, you know, the issues of lawmakers, federal lawmakers and constituency projects have been very controversial over time. Yes. And so people are saying that there should be ways to actually institutionalize some of this instead of what looks like handouts being given. But talk to us about how there is also the need to skill up some of these people, because it's not just giving them these things. How do you skill them up to be able to make good use of this to actually,
you know, before these things were given, first of all, they have to go through training. Okay. Some of them were trained. The people that received sewing machine went through training as fashion designers. The people that got the block molding machine went through training as block molders. The people that got the tricycles and everything, some of them will have to even also pay for them to go through the driving school and also get them a license before giving them this tricycle that has been given to them. So it's just the same. It's just the same. But the difference is that these are our constituents that we met even during our campaign. So we know the people that this is being given directly to.
All right. Well, apart from this outreach that yes, you have engaged in, people expect you primarily to yes, do the job of lawmaking. Yes. And I've seen that some bills you have of recent brought in place yes, to actually boost governance in the FCT.
Yes.
Because there have been lots of complaints about the place of people who come into the city, and then the place of the original inhabitants of the FCT, and then, of course, the controversial issues of land and displacement. And there was a bill, I think, that you sponsored that had to do with the issues of displacement.
Of course.
And, of course, how to handle them, because FCT minister himself, Nyesom Wike, was in the line of fire. I mean, sometime last week when he actually relocated one community called Ruga also,
yes,
where they were displaced, and it caused an uproar.
Yes. You see, Mr. Sambo, I will tell you that the federal government have been paying lip service to the indigenous people of FCT, and that is quite unfair. And this is a problem that if we don't handle it now, as days go by, it will cost us more to do that. And it will make FCT to be more insecure. So this is something that has to be done as a matter of urgency. Since 1999 till date, I have not seen federal government take a proactive measure to make sure that the issue of resettlement, compensation, and integration is handled in FCT.
Well, they will say that they actually have a department that handles that.
An unfunctional department.
Why are you bringing a bill,
okay, with that department, since all this while, how many resettlement has been carried out or integration?
How about the ones that were
are successful
in other areas like Shere?
Yes, the one they built houses in Shere, but it's not been occupied until today. They have not finished building them.
But you are supposed to oversight them. I mean, that's the area that you, as the House of Rep and Senate,
and that is what I am doing now. From my oversight, I found out that if we don't put the proper thing in place, nothing can be achieved with what is happening presently. We have a department who their job is to get land from the federal government. That is the Department of Resettlement and Compensation. And public works are the one to construct the building. And you have satellite town to put the infrastructure. 3 different departments have their 3 different heads. So this synergy doesn't really get well most of the times. But if you have a full agency that have everything within the agency, the head of the agency will know his work and mandate.
So in other words, this bill will hope to collapse all of them into one agency.
The other ones can be doing what they're doing, but the Department of Resettlement will have works, have everything that it needs to work on its own without relying on public works or satellite town development agency, you know. So this agency will cater for everything that has to do with resettlement, integration, and compensation.
Now, have you been synergizing with the executive? Because, I mean, if the FCT minister doesn't feel carried along with this, the executive arm of the Abuja City administration, you may actually run into challenges. And then also, how are you reaching out to your counterparts in the Senate?
Yeah, you see, this is at the beginning stage of it. There will still be a public what do you call
public
it?
Hearing.
Yes, public hearing on this bill. And the people will throw in their own ideas and everything. And that will come also from the office of the minister and everything. This is just at the beginning stage, but it's something that we must do for humanity, fairness to the people that we met here. We need to do the right thing.
And there's been lots of politics in the FCT,
Yes.
not just on the issues of, governance, talking about you, Labour Party. I mean, you are the House of Reps, and then you also have a senator from the same Labour Party in the Senate. Let's talk about your engagement with the executive. We've seen lots of constructions happening. The FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, opening up some new districts, constructing and getting into the interior parts of the federal capital. How much are lawmakers like you involved? Because both the Senate Committee on FCT and the House Committee on FCT are actually the legislative arm that are actually supposed to supervise and oversight the FCT minister as he goes about doing his duties.
The minister of FCT cannot wake up one morning and start carrying those things out, first of all, without getting his budget approved from the National Assembly. And to the best of my knowledge, the minister has not gone out of what has been approved in the National Assembly. So I think that there is that synergy. And the National Assembly has been cooperating with the minister.
Well, maybe from your own angle, because I mean, the senator in the Senate has been complaining that she's not been carried along.
Well,
I want to ask you,
Honorable Obika,
have you been carried along
I'm talking
in the governance
about
of FCT and FCT minister?
If the approval of the House is given to the minister of FCT, that means we are having a good working relationship. The question now is this: are you not feeling the impact of what the minister is doing presently in FCT? We have had a minister for the past 8 years. Nothing has been done. Look, this is not the issue of politics.
And that's what I'm asking. Is there a bipartisan approach? Because you're of the Labour Party, the minister is PDP.
And I'm telling you here now that the minister is doing the needful.
Okay.
And so many times I have written the minister concerning so many issues, and I see him attending to that. Okay. And I have laid so much emphasis on the issue of our rural communities, opening up the rural communities. And if you can see now, you can see a lot of things happening down in our rural communities. It has started. If you go down to the Buhari Road, you can see what is going on there. And I know very soon they will start the Igushere Road to completion. And a lot of things are inside 2024, and more is going to come on 2025. So this 2025 is going to witness a lot of developments in our rural communities. And we are fortunate at this time to have a man who have the will and the capacity to get these things done.
Well, in Abuja city center, people are actually complaining some areas that while the minister has performed excellently well in doing some other things, but nonetheless, some roads that have not expired are being paved again. And as a result of that, they are thinking that some of those resources could have been shifted elsewhere. How do you think that the city center, Abuja city center, could actually benefit more from the bipartisan approach that both the FCT minister and your committees and as lawmaker you're engaging in?
For me, I think that Abuja city center has started benefiting already. You can see all these leakages, this, what do you call it? I don't know. There's a word I wanted to use.
Interchange.
The interchange. Are being constructed. You can see completed. That things that has been there for years. I've been in Abuja since 1996. I know the speed of developments that we have had between this short period of time. And if we can go on that trajectory, I believe before 2 years' time, Abuja will be wearing a different look. But look, you know, people expect everybody to be good at everything at the same time. No, we cannot. We are human beings. Maybe there's an area they want to see the minister, maybe maybe the way he communicates with them or something. For some, what I want as an individual is development.
Yeah, but
that is what I care much.
Before I let you go, FCT residents actually want to see you, the senators, the House of Rep members representing this city together with the minister on the same table. That has not happened. Is this something we should look out for before I let you go? Could we see Senator Reti Kingibe, yourself, and the other honorable member representing Abuja South all on the same table with Minister Nyesom Wike to discuss better on how to synergize?
We might have our own individual differences. For me and the minister, I don't think we have any. I don't think I have any problem with him. Like I said, any issue that I have, I communicate to my minister and tell him that this and that is what the people want.
All right.
I am a member of the legislative arm of government. I'm not part of the executive, but we are to do what? Oversight them. And tell them as elected people what our people in the rural communities or Abuja residents want from him. And that is what I'm doing.
Just before I let you go, what should FCT residents look out for, especially those in the Maiduguri Federal Constituency, which the city center is located?
You know, you are focusing just on the city center.
Yeah, but I mean, there's Abuja,
yes,
the federal capital,
the rural
and they happen to be inside
the rural communities are part of. I said it before. More than 22 electoral wards I have. It's only about 10 or 11 of them that are in the city. The rest are in the rural communities. Right. So I know that they are going to witness a lot of development in 2025. And we will be there, we will be here to make sure that that is done by doing the proper oversight functions that's supposed to be carried out by us representing FCT.
All right, we must thank you so much, Honorable Joshua Chinedu Obika is the member representing Amaewhule Federal Constituency, where the Nigerian capital, much of the Abuja city center, is actually located. But of course, he's very passionate about rural areas that are also within his constituency.
The removal of fuel subsidy brought too much money to government coffers, and the Nigerian citizens are the ones bearing the blunt at the moment. Recently, the NLC president declared in Rivers State that very soon, the governors who have refused to implement the 70,000 naira minimum wage that will be matched with resistance. He insisted that the NLC members in states where governors have yet to implement the 70,000 naira minimum wage should embark on strike, that they will have the full backing of the national NSC executives.